Hello my queens, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are just joining us, welcome to the world of Auto Gele Magic. Kindly click the subscribe button and notification button so you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video. And to my returning subscriber, thank you so much for watching. So today we'll be learning how to make this beautiful Zara cap and this ruffle with that cute bow at the back. If that is something you are interested in, kindly keep on watching. So this style is in 3 stages. So the first stages is the making of the Zara cap. So for our Zara cap, we need our Maco and our fabric. So I'm using this fabric is called Baby. So for the Maco, I'm using 3 inches width and the length is 17.5. You can use 18. 18 is the maximum, but it's 17 that remain. I don't want it to waste, so I decided to use it like that. So for this fabric, the name is called Baby. The measurement is the circumference of my head. My head is 24, so I use 24. The reason why I use 24 is this fabric is stretchy. That's why I use 24. So by the time I finish, it can be 22. It will still enter me because it's stretchy. I think it's not the stretchy material. I would have had like 2 inches sewing allowance to it. So for the width is I use 16 inches for the width. So what we are going to do is we'll place the Maco on our fabric and turn it in this way before sewing. But the first thing we need to do is locate the middle of the Maco. The middle of the Maco, then we locate the middle or the center of the fabric also, and I gave it a notch. Now I'll be able to identify the center of the fabric. So I'll fold in like half an inch inwards. I'll fold in half an inch inwards and I'll place my Maco there. So I will use that half an inch to turn it like this. So I'm going to sew on that half an inch that I fold inward. I will not sew on the Maco. Don't let your needle reach the Maco. So it's that half an inch that you will sew on that will make your Maco to stay in place. So yeah, I'm just trying to sew it in. So kindly watch the way I'm sewing it here so that you know how to make it. It's a very simple process. Zara cap is very easy to make once you have the material. You can use any fabric to make it. You can use ashoke, you can use Ankara, you can use Duchess, raw silk, any material at all you have. You can use it to make your Zara cap and it will turn out very beautiful. Even if you are the type that don't have machine or you can also, once you get this Maco, you can just place it at the center of your fabric, turn it in like 2 or 3 times and you tie it on your head. So this Zara cap is a very versatile style that you can use, and you can use anything to create it, whether you are sewing or you are not sewing. So after I have finished sewing the Zara cap inside it, so that sewing part will be at the middle. In the inner part of my, this is the wrong side. So the sewing part will be at the wrong side, but at the middle. So once you put be at the middle, it will have that beautiful like cap-like effect. You can see what it look like now. So once I push it to the middle, see what it look like. So I will not turn right side facing each other. I will trim it off and give it a shape like a cap shape. I'll give it like a cap shape before I will now start sewing, because your Zara is a cap, so you have to give it a cap shape. So I fold the two edges together and I measure it. So I use 11 inches, that is 22. You know, I told you that the fabric is stretching, so my hair circumference is 24, but I use 22 because it's too enter my. So after sewing like 5 inches, I will create a pleat. You can do it this way, or you can just sew it straight and use your needle and thread to create a gather. But me, I prefer this way. It's more easier and faster. It will still give the same result at the end of the day. So this is what our Zara cap look like. Step 1 done. So for the step 2, which is the creating of the ruffles at the front, the measurement is 40 inches length and 10 inches wide. This step 2 is where almost all the work lies, so listen attentively. So then we start creating our column. We create a column, you need a biro and a ruler. Don't mind me, I did not see ruler, that's why I use that comb, because I have to do this video today. So you will now start measuring 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch till you get to the length. You measure 1.5 inch from the top of the fabric to the bottom. So throughout the whole 40 inches, you measure 1.5, then you start joining the lines together to create a straight line. So you create that straight line with 1.5 inches interval, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. So you do that all through the length of your fabric. Kindly note that I did not see my ruler. That's why I'm using comb. It's ruler you are supposed to use here. Don't use comb. Use ruler, and you can also create a mark it at the middle so that it will be easier to join the markings together. You mark one at the down, one at the middle, and at the top. Then it will be easier for you to just create a long line. See, I've measured everything, create a long line for everything like that. So the next one is to mark another 1.5 inches vertically from that 10 inches length. So I will mark the same 1.5 inches. So we are creating like a square box, like a box where the top is 1.5, the side is 1.5, everything is 1.5. So this place I've measure everything. So I'm just trying to join the lines together. I create the line small, then I'll use my biro to create it on a straight line. You can see it like square box, like a box. Then I'm joining everything together. So after joining, the next thing is to start creating our triangle shape. You will leave the first line down, side and up, then you create. See what I'm doing. I create one down, I leave up, I go to the next one. I will leave one and create the next one. Then I will leave another line up, then I'll go to the next one. Just look at what I'm doing, you understand. It's very easy. You leave one and create like 2 box. You leave one box, create 2 box. Then you leave one line interval. So that's what I'm doing, creating the triangle. Leave one, create one. If you watch very well, it's very easy process. So after I have finished creating, it's time to stitch. So I double my thread into 8, 4 on each side. Then I will follow that markings, that triangle that I did. I will just take small on each angle. You see, 1, 2, 3. You can see. Don't sew it down, just that up. Then I will squeeze it together. Then I will tack it. And tack it. Make sure your tacking is very tight. Tack like 3 to 5 times so that it will not rip off. So that's what I will continue doing. I will just be tacking through the edge of those triangles that I created. So that's what you are going to do for every place you create your triangle. You continue like that, you get to the end of your fabric. It's a very tedious work, but you just have to take your time. It's worth it at the end because the design is very beautiful. So here is what it look like after I have finished doing everything. So I will join the mouth together and go to my sewing machine to stitch. So here I've stitched it, so I will turn it inside out. So that sewing part will be at the center. It will be at the center. It will be at the back. The ruffle part will be at the front also. So the next thing is to create a band. The ruffle did not reach the back of the Zara cap, so I create a band. The band measure is 8 inches by 8 inches. So when I turn it to give me 4 inches on each side, and I use it to cover the mouths of each. Then I went to my sewing machine to sew it. So here I have sewed it with the band. I'm cutting out the excess. I don't want this video to be too long, that's why I'm fastening it a bit, but it's a very easy something. So here is the finished look. That's the ruffle on our Zara cap. So the next thing for us to do now is to attach the ruffle to our Zara cap with our needle and thread. So I locate the back of the ruffle and I will pin it down with the back of the Zara cap, and I will tack it with my needle and thread. When tacking, make sure your tacking did not show up. The fabric is double. The fabric of the ruffle is double, so when you are tacking, just tack the inner fabric. Don't let your thread or your needle come through up, so that back will be neat. You tack the inner fabric together with the Zara cap, the inner fabric of that ruffle. And the reason why the ruffle did not reach the back is I use 40 inches. So if you want your own to reach the back, you can actually use like 50 or 55 inches. But another reason is that I'll be creating a bow at this back, so it does not mean, so for the bow to be able to sit very well, that's why I did not make the ruffle to reach the back, and I just put this band. So now we are sewing the ruffle together with the Zara cap. So you see that place that I sew, see, that's where I'm passing my needle through. Then I'll pick up the fabric on the Zara. Don't sew inside your Maco. Don't sew through your Maco. It will not make your work neat. So your inside of your Zara cap has to be neat. So I'll go out of the fabric, then I will come back again to that ruffle. That's the same thing I will do. Then I'll go through inside the ruffle, and come out. So that's how you are going to sew it till you get to the end of your ruffle. Inside the ruffle, you use your needle to pick up the fabric. Don't pass your needle through the Maco. You pick up the fabric and enter it. So that's all. So here is the last part. The third part is the making of our bow. So the length is the same thing as the ruffle, 40 by 10. It's the same length with the ruffle, 40 by 10. So after getting that one, I will fold it, the right side facing each other. Then I will fold it again into 4. You can see I fold it into 4. So after folding it into 4, I will trim up that side so that it can be equal. So I will measure 3 inches inwards. 3 inches inwards. And I'll mark it. Then from that 3 inches, I will now create a slant towards the end of the fabric. I will create like a slant shape, and I'll use my scissors to cut it out. So then I'll take it to my sewing machine to sew. From that slant place, I'll sew it to the other end. So here I'm just showing you how I sew from the slant place to the other end. After sewing, I did not finish sewing it. I leave like 1 inch. Then I use it to turn it out. So that's just pretty much what I did here. After sewing, I leave 1 inch and use it to turn it out. So here I've turned it out, and this is it. So I marked 10 inches on both sides, and the inner part too will be 10 inches. So from that 10 inches mark, use your hand to hold it down. Then you fold your fabric like that. See what I'm doing? You fold it like this. After folding it, then you now take the hand and cross it just this way. So after finish crossing it, you measure that down part. It must be equal. You see, this one is 6, the other one too is 6 inches. It must be equal. The up is 7 inches. So I turn it to the right side, to the back, or rather, then I measure it again because I don't want it to shift. So it's still 6 inches. So the up is 7 inches. So I mark half of the up, which is 3.5. Then I use it to create a line through the center of that slanted place. So now we use our needle and thread to create a gather and form our bow rather. We form our beautiful bow. This bow is very, very simple. Just gather everything. You can see how beautiful our bow is. See how beautiful it is. So now this is the band to hold it. I measure 5 inches and 7 inches. I sew it to my sewing machine, and after turn it inside out. So this is what I'll put at the middle of our bow to give it that beautiful shape, and take it to my sewing machine to sew. So here I have sewed the bow. I sew it and I turn it inside out. See how beautiful it looks. So the next thing is to join our bow together with our Zara cap. So you just tack it. There is no one way to the tacking. Just tack everything. So this is the final look of our beautiful Zara cap with ruffle and a beautiful bow at the back. If you have watched to this point, kindly subscribe, Give a thumbs up, comment and share. See how beautiful it looks. Our Zara cap with ruffle at the front and a beautiful bow at the back. Make sure you try this out and tag me on your own when you are finished making it. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye bye.